Welcome back, and for anybody that's new, I'm Casey. So do you remember that time that you took and volunteered to go to the grocery store? Shopping, or Toby, do you want to? But you snore so loud. No, sorry, bud, I'm gonna go shopping. Let's go shopping. Okay, let's go. And for some strange reason, in between the grocery store and your house, groceries ended up looking like this. Well, in today's video, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna come up with another storage solution. I can hear you already. Why don't you just buy one? And we'll get into that, I promise. Now, you've probably already seen the thumbnail, but trust me, this thing's gonna have a couple little secrets hiding. Let's get to it. All right, guys, so the first thing I want to mention is that I started this pre-COVID, so the price of aluminum has gone up exponentially since then. However, if you want to do this out of steel, you easily could. It would just weigh a little bit more, and you'd need to paint. Now, I tried bending this a few different ways, and I remembered seeing somebody else take and cut it, and then bend it, and I tried that, but for me, it just kept snapping off. So then I decided I was going to use a board and kind of, sort of speak, set up a little bit of a metal brick. And I used a hammer to assist it, but again, it cracked on me. So then on my third attempt, I decided I was going to heat it up as much as I can. And then I took and I bent it over. But this time I didn't try to get a really crisp edge. And this actually worked out really well. The main reason why I chose aluminum is because of the fact I wanted it lightweight. If I sound a bit off, guys, it's because of the fact I'm fighting COVID for the first time. And I put this in the vise and just twisted it till it was square. Now this is the area it needs to go in, and this is where it needs to fit really nice and snug so that way the tailgate will close. And I'm marking where I'm going to drill it out for a slot. Alright, I've seen people use wood tools in order to cut aluminum, and they say it's fine, so I gave it a try, and it didn't actually seem to damage anything. I do think if I was going to do this again, I would make this slot just a little bit smaller. And you'll see me start off with hand tools, and then I tried power tools, but I actually like the hand tools better. So after cutting it to length, I cut this off just so that way it would look a little bit better. And of course, almost everything I've had to file the edges. This gives you an idea of how long ago I started this, though, as this is my old sander. And here's where I went to the power tools for a little bit. So that did cut it nicely. I chose to use rivets for this. I really think rivets are a little bit underrated, and they worked out really well. And after test fitting it, I realized I wanted to change something up. So I needed to drill this rivet out, because I'm going to take and put this pipe in here, and I want the rivet to go through it. And then I drilled a hole here, and this is going to be a place where I can put a pin to lock it in place. And then I drilled one here, and that's going to be for a screw to hold it in. But what I did is I turned it 90 degrees, so that way it'd make a mark on it. And although the video is not the greatest, I thought you'd still want to see it. I took and cut this channel out, so that way I can slide it back in and secure it with a screw. Why I did this will make sense later. So I decided to add a feature in here, and that means I'm going to actually move this up further up here, and then I'm going to cut this shorter. So that way it's quite a bit shorter and I got more room over here. And I'll just do that off camera. Oh yeah, I need 2 of these. I hooked up to the tailgate and I made it square, so that way I would know what size to cut the other pieces at. And the hinges I had to trim a little bit off so that way they would fit nicely in the tubing. But to be honest, guys, there's going to be a lot of riveting, so let's do a little bit of a montage and we'll come back when we're wrapping up. mistake that I made is I was supposed to offset this so that way it didn't overlap when it folded. As you can see here, it doesn't fold up quite how much I would like it to. Part of me wanted to leave it instead of having exposed holes, but the whole concept of this is for it to fold up. But I think I am going to move them over. I'll just have to deal with the fact that there's holes. But at least if any of you guys go to build one, you'll remember not to make my mistake. All right, so now you watched me build it, but what all can it do? All right, right before we get into that, I want to mention one thing. Please consider joining the channel below. It'd help out a lot. Even if you only signed up for $1, you can always change your mind. That can go to the channel and it can go back into you guys. And here's one way it can. My very first member is going to receive this bumper sticker. So Elizabeth, check the description for how to claim yours. And I'll be doing more of this in the future with stickers and other things. So consider checking that out and being part of the team. All right, back to it. All right, so to start off with, I chose aluminum because I wanted this thing to be light. I got a couple ramps, and the fact that they're so light compared to steel ones, I think is worth it. The next criteria is I wanted one that could be inside of the bed or outside of the bed. Although I didn't want to have bracketing for this thing that would be permanently a fixture to the side and would get in the way. So how does it do that? So let's say you want to haul something in the front part of your box. Then you'll take your gate, you're going to unlatch it, put it in. Okay, let's do this side. So that's going to allow me to store anything in the front area that I may not want sliding back and forth. Example, now. Okay, so now with these flip down, you can assure all your merchandise from from the grocery store for your wife is not going to get tossed around in the back. This also comes in handy for various other things that you don't want sliding all over the place. Now let's say you want to haul more stuff. Simply undo it, turn it around, bummer. So there you go, pellets intercooler. If you're really worried about this bouncing up and this potentially coming out, there's an easy solution for that. You just hook this on here, and there we go. But that's not all. Told you guys there'd be a secret. Okay, so the one thing that I don't like about my truck is hauling 8-foot stuff. But this is going to fix that too, the little secret I added. Told you there was a secret, let's check it out. Pull this pin out. If anybody is wondering about right here, this I do want to get welded to this piece. But now, we can haul 8-foot stuff. Another thing I plan to do so that way I can haul 2x4s is put mesh in here. All right, till next time, keep creating.